Have you ever sat in a transport office full of blokes screaming at a television and realized you would honestly rather be stuck in gridlock on the M25 than watch another minute of football? If you are nodding your head right now, then welcome to the club, mate. In the haulage industry, football is practically a religion. From the moment you walk into the yard on a Monday morning, it is all anyone is talking about. Who scored, who got a red card, which manager is getting the sack. You stand there, a cup of terrible machine coffee in your hand, nodding at the right moments, smiling, and pretending to care. But underneath it all, you feel this completely hollow, quiet feeling, like you are watching the whole conversation through a pane of glass. You see blokes whose entire week is ruined because 11 millionaires in matching shirts lost a game on a Saturday afternoon. And you just stand there thinking, why do I feel absolutely nothing? Why did I not get the memo about how to care about this stuff? For years, I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I was just a miserable sod. But then I had a run up to Aberdeen. 12 hours in the cab. So I put on an audiobook about human psychology. And mate, it completely blew my mind. It explained exactly why some of us just do not care about sports. The first thing I learned about is something the boffins call reward sensitivity. It basically means that different brains respond to different types of excitement. For the lads in the yard, the unpredictability of a football match, the competition, and the group identity trigger a massive emotional reward. Their brains get a massive hit of dopamine. But for people like you and me, those exact same elements do not do a single thing. Our brains simply do not register 22 blokes kicking a bag of wind around a pitch as exciting or meaningful. It is not that we are broken. Our wiring is just looking for a different kind of spark. Then there is the whole social identity thing. Psychologists reckon that people connect with sports teams to build a sense of belonging. It is an us versus them tribal mentality. If you wear the shirt, you are part of the gang. But some of us are not wired to seek belonging in a crowd. We form our identity through our own thoughts, our independence, or the sheer solitary nature of what we do. I drive a 40-ton Arctic across the country in the dead of night. I am comfortable on my own. I don't need a team scarf wrapped around my neck to know who I am. And a lot of it comes down to how you were raised. If you grew up in a house where the football was always on the telly, your brain builds an emotional connection to it early on. My old man was a long-haul driver too. He was always on the road. We didn't have season tickets. My brain never built that association. So as an adult, I don't feel like I am missing out on anything. But the biggest light bulb moment for me was hearing about emotional regulation. Let me tell you a quick story about a bloke I used to drive with. We will call him Dino. Dino was a fanatic. His entire emotional state was tied to his football team. One Saturday, we were doing a tandem run down the M1 to London. His team was playing in a massive cup final, and he was listening to it on his cab radio. I was cruising along, listening to a podcast about ancient history, completely relaxed. With 10 minutes to go, Dino's team conceded a penalty and lost the match. I watched him in my wing mirrors. He was swerving all over his lane. He was absolutely raging. When we finally pulled into the delivery depot, he was slamming his cab doors, screaming at the forklift driver and kicking his own tires. His entire weekend was completely ruined. And that is when it clicked for me. This job is stressful enough. We deal with blown tires, completely stupid car drivers, VOSA checks, and ridiculous deadlines. Our emotions are already being tested every single mile we drive. Why on earth would I want to volunteer for another unpredictable emotional roller coaster? Some people love the highs and lows of sports, but my brain prefers to avoid situations that create massive, unpredictable spikes of frustration. I prefer to keep my cab calm, stable, and peaceful. I don't need the drama. There are drivers out there who think that if you don't care about the match, you must be a boring bloke. They think you lack passion or excitement, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Not caring about sports just means your passions are directed somewhere else. Maybe you love mechanics. Maybe you are into technology, business, music, or just figuring out how the human mind works. It takes a very independent mindset to sit in a canteen full of 50 shouting blokes and happily admit that you don't care about the score. Because sports is the most globally accepted form of small talk. Choosing not to engage with it just means you are not influenced by the crowd. You think for yourself. So here's the advice I want to give to any driver or anyone really who feels like an outsider because they don't follow the crowd. Stop pretending to care. Stop nodding along and faking a smile when the conversation turns to the weekend's fixtures. You do not have to fake an interest just to fit in at the depot. Human behavior is shaped by a massive combination of personality, cognitive preference, and environment. Sports is just one way that people choose to engage with the world. It is not the only way. The next time the lads are screaming at the television in the transport office, just grab your keys, smile to yourself, and walk out to your lorry. Your cab is your sanctuary. Fill it with the things that actually stimulate your own mind. Be comfortable in your own lane. If this story made you feel a little less alone, drop a like on the video, mate. It genuinely helps the channel. Subscribe for more honest tales from the UK Tarmac, where we actually talk about what goes on inside the driver's head. And let me know in the comments. Are you a massive sports fan? Or are you the bloke quietly drinking his tea in the corner? Drive safe out there, mates. Keep the shiny side up. Over and out.